between we want this 5-star kid from Florida, but there's a really talented receiver here, and if we offer him now, then we can't recruit the other one anymore because he might jump on it too quickly.
I think the mistake that people make there is that you want one more than the other, and that's not necessarily true.
Well, you have to prioritize your guys.
You rank them. You certainly do rank them, but I think that there's a lot that goes into who's going to end up playing in the shoe on Saturday afternoons. That isn't necessarily based on how many stars they have or their location. And I think that all of that goes into play when you're trying to assess that. So I think that a lot of times guys would say, well, they want him more because they offered him first. It's not true at all necessarily. It's a function of the process and the geography of where different people are.
And I don't mean to belabor the point, but just one last question.
You're beating it up,
yeah,
so you know.
But you guys wanted the kid from Akron 2 years ago, but you also wanted the kid from Alabama, Harris, and the kid who's now at Michigan State, who's going to probably be a very good player. His name's escaping me right now.
And I have
LJ
no idea
Scott.
who you're talking about.
But
you're
like,
not being honest.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be smart.
That's
but
okay.
It's just like the idea of we could have had him, LJ Scott, if we got on him early, but we wanted to go national, and we lost out on the national kids, and then we waited too long for the Ohio kid, and the Ohio kid left. I just feel like that'd be hard.
I think I'd be really careful about making those assumptions based on anything that from the outside in. I really would, and that doesn't mean that we have some secret that we're not telling you. I
understand.
I think very often the perception of who is the most desired player and those kind of things is formed by people outside this building, and I think inside this building we gotta have a fair handle on it, what it is that we want to do.
What are you going to be feeling next Thursday, Friday, when you see so many of your guys?
Well, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be very excited, and my feet are not going to hit the ground. They're going to be. It's an incredibly exciting feeling for everybody associated with the Ohio State program, with our kids and their development, and I think more than anything, how they've handled themselves. I mean, I continue to be impressed with the quality of their commentary, the way they handle themselves when I see them here with NFL people, the volume of them, the kids that came back on Saturday for the spring game, and just everything about that class and really the Ohio State NFL thing is just, to me, it's very, very inspiring.
Kerry, what does it mean for the program, do you think? You guys have not been shy about putting it out on social media, going back to the Combine and Pro Day and all that stuff. But once that night happens, how does that become part of the recruiting toolbox or anything else moving forward?
Well, I think it speaks for itself. If you choose to come to Ohio State and you buy into the culture and the program as it is presented here, if you are someone who will strain in the weight room with Coach Marotti and you will grasp onto the culture that's established by Coach Meyer, and then you are forced to compete every day against similar talent, you're going to be in a position to do two things: win championships and play at a very high level at the next level. And I think that we have clear evidence of that. It's not philosophy or theory; it's testimony.
When you look at that and apply it, you've talked before, whether it's Roby, these guys from the last few years. You want that pressure on Garyon to say that I've got to be a first-round pick at this time next year, right?
It is the standard of the corner room that you are going to be in the conversation to be a first-round draft pick. That's been established well before I came here, and that is something that a tradition that we are not going to let go of. And we talk about it freely in our room, that's the standard, and if you're not working to that level, the question has to be why. And so I'm excited about the way our kids have latched onto that, and absolutely that pressure should be felt in that room.
Kerry, what was more exciting for you, the fact that Marshawn Lattimore made a play for the first time in Ohio Stadium, or that he walked off the field without an injury?
That he walked off the field without an injury. I'm not worried about the first time he made the play. He's going to make a lot of plays in that stadium as long as he's healthy. And I was extremely pleased with the fact that he walked off of there healthy. Felt like he competed extremely well, and his future is extremely bright.
But that's such a big step for him. Because
huge step.
To get through spring, I know that he was limited at one point, but not only to make the play, to give him something to latch onto mentally throughout this. He's taking yoga now, and he's trying to be flexible, but like now to have the next 4 months to continue to rehab the leg. I mean, it seems like he's probably entering a fall camp in a really good, best spot he's ever been.
I think his mental frame of mind is as good as it's been because he doesn't have a nagging fear of injury. And I think the best thing about the spring was that he did have a tweak and that he fought through it and finished. And it didn't shut him down. And so, you know, there was a point in the middle where it was not injury, it was just soreness, it was scar tissue, it was whatever it was. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But I know that it was limiting. And so rather than shutting it down, he battled through and finished. And so for us, that was an extremely positive
When the
sign.
tweak happened, did you have a heart attack?
Absolutely sick to my stomach. And that's because it's important to me. It's important to him. And there's no question that and I tell him this, I pray on him every day that he's going to be healthy, because that's important. It couldn't be more important to that kid. And he's doing everything we ask him to do. And Mickey and the training staff are doing ridiculous things, you know, and looking under every rock and corner just to find whatever they can do. And that's why it was very gratifying to see him play and play well Saturday.